Okay, so put down the layers, pick up one, and start stringing through the side. And then you're going to put on one red bead, string through the next bead, and just kind of string as if you're making another pattern. So just keep putting on red beads as if you're as if you're like adding another layer onto that layer, which you kind of are, because this is how we're going to connect the bottom. Okay, and then when you have the string sticking out through this side, make sure you have enough string to go back around. You're going to get the next layer in that order, and then you're going to stick the string through. See how it's coming up through this one right here? You're going to stick it up through the one that's just like it on the other layer. So you're going to string through this one, and when the string's coming out of there, you're going to string through the bead sticking up on this layer right here, and then you're going to string through this red bead right here, the second red bead sticking out on that layer, on the second layer that we're stringing through. And see, what we're pretty much doing is connecting it so that way there's going to be a red bead that's in the middle of this. You can see. So when the bead's sticking out of there, go ahead and stick it through the red bead from our new layer, like that. Stick it through the other side, right here, the next red bead from the second layer that's sticking out. Pull. So it's starting to look like that, okay? Stick through the next new layer of red beads, like that. Stick through the second layer, red bead that's sticking up. So it goes like that, and just keep doing that. And then you'll eventually have the red bead sticking, the string will end up sticking out of the last bead on the second layer, and it'll look like that. Don't forget to pull tightly, check so it looks like this, okay, and then tie it off. Okay, so then this is the first and the second layer tied together. We're going to add the third layer, and we're going to do pretty much the exact same thing. Yep, the exact same thing, but using the third layer and the second layer. So you're going to put a string through the second layer, okay, let's do it on this so it looks easy. So we're going to use the third layer, right? And we're going to just string through beads through the whole top layer as if we're adding another layer onto this. So just put on some beads right there. Okay, when you have all the beads on the third layer and it's coming out of this side, go ahead and put it with the three layers next to each other, okay? And then you're going to string through the bead that's parallel to you're going to string the string through the second layer, the middle layer, and we're going to string it through the same bead that it's coming out of on that layer, the one that's like just the same. That's corresponding. I don't think you guys know what that means. I'm trying to use common sense vocabulary. Okay. Then we're going to string through the bead sticking up on the new layer, just like we were doing. Then we're going to stick through the next bead on the second layer. This can get a little complicated because it's all like wound in together right now. tying it is, I mean, putting it all together is really complicated. String through the next bead sticking up. So do you see what we're doing? The string's coming out of the bead sticking up. String through the second layer where the bead is sticking up. So it looks like that. Hopefully you're getting this. It's kind of hard to explain. Okay, and when you're done, if you did it right, make sure you're doing it right. If not, it doesn't really matter. If you find a way that it ties together good and, you know, it's not my way, it doesn't matter. I mean, the first time I did this, I figured this out, like, on my own, how to tie it together, and, like, I just kind of, like, strung beads through every single bead and just, I don't know, it's a piece of crap work, but it looks fine. So the bead should be coming out of the second layer bead right here at the end, and then you're going to tie it off like we did in the last layer. Cut the string, and this is what you should have right now. So I'll cut a long enough piece of string, extra long just in case. Okay, and we're gonna put these 3 beads that are sticking out at this side together. I'm gonna put the string through one of the beads right here, the top bead. No, it's getting complicated. Okay, and then we're gonna put both strings through the second layer, one going in through the side, that one side. So like this string is coming out through the left side, then you're gonna stick it through the left side of the second bead. Pull, and this one's sticking out through the right, put it through the right side of that bead. Pull, and you're gonna do the same thing for the third layer. Or you don't have to, I guess, you just put one of the strings through and then tie it. And it's looking kind of funky, I know. But once you like tie more of the layers together, then it'll straighten out. So yeah, I'm gonna do the second side. So I have two strings coming out of that one bead, and then I'm going to put both of them through the second layer like we just did. This is so hard to do, and I'm trying to make it so you guys can see. Okay, so you have the two strings coming out of the second layer. Put either side through the third bead in that row, tie it off. Ow, I cut myself. I'm dumb. Okay. Okay, so pretty much you can just repeat that, but for like line it up, and then pick like some 3 beads that are in the same line and just tie them together. So I'd pick that one and that one, this one, these 3 and these 3, and I'll tie them together. Okay, and same on the other side. You can tie as many together as you want. You can tie them all together, I really don't care. You know, just once you start tying them, it'll look more, you know, boxy and not all like meh. So yep, just get going. If you find a different way to tie them, go ahead, do so, because really the way I tie them isn't like a specific way you have to do them. I'm sure other people that have made Game Boys have a more logical way to tie it off, but I just kind of tie it randomly, and no one can tell because, you know, yeah, just do whatever.